Mic good? Yep, quiet. And
Hey, this is Christian Buckley. This is the final day of the Ignite conference here in Orlando, Florida. So Christian Buckley, let's go down the line.
Yeah,
here.
that's right. Yeah,
So,
Darrell is as a service Webster, and I'm fumbling because it's been a long week.
It has been a long week.
I'm not Christian Buckley.
Not Christian Buckley.
Just feeling the love all morning here. Thank you so much. But we are talking about takeaways from the event. There's a lot going on, like things that kind of jump out to. I know we're all just kind of recovering. There was a lot of Mickey Mouse last night happening.
Yeah,
You were
universally. Yeah,
Yes.
I heard that coming.
It was all right, correct.
Well, I jumped on a Hulk ride. The estimated times were 90 minutes, but they ended up being 30, so I'm glad I...
Wait
That's okay.
times.
Wait
not
times?
Yeah, wait.
Travel time.
No, travel time. Travel time was a minute 35.
Yeah. But I think the viewers want to know about the conference, not about Universal Studios.
Oh, okay. Well,
but it's okay to be late.
It's okay.
You're not the first one today to be late.
Yeah.
So that's okay. But coming back to what we were talking about and why we're here. So your takeaways from the event, it's been 4 or 5 days now that you've been here?
Yes,
Top things that you
so many SharePoint announcements and innovations. I can't wait to get home and just watch the sessions that I missed. And we get this, with Office 365, we get this awesome instant gratification, almost instant gratification now, because a couple of things that they announced, or a lot of them are going to be out in a couple of weeks. So you get to go try it in the product almost immediately. So a lot of things about, the way you do sites and hubs and the way you can do templates and just a lot of the things that impact the way I work day to day and, building intranets in SharePoint they're really going to help just those projects that I do.
Darrell?
Yeah, I enjoyed spending some time with Dan Stevenson and his team, looking a little closer at some of the Microsoft Teams announcements that have come in. So he's able to demonstrate to me calls, meetings. So there's going to be a lot fuller capabilities with meetings that we have become used to having with Skype for Business. So a lot of good stuff coming there.
There's. Well, you're not going to point to me, introduce me. It's like, and Christian. I mean, there's nothing.
Well, you said your name twice
here,
before you let anyone else talk.
All right, so we're balanced there, but yeah. No, I was just going to point out the fact that we had, the birthdays of a number of products. So we had Exchange 21, we had, SharePoint Suite 16 this year, of course. It's the 1-year anniversary of the Tech Community site, which is continuing to grow, and it's been great to talk to MVPs and experts in the product teams across other areas that are not in the SharePoint Teams space. There's a lot going on with Yammer as well. This was also a great opportunity to get kind of behind the scenes and dig in and ask questions about things. Like I've been having conversations around expansions of APIs, of adding some of these technologies to the substrate to be able to get to the Microsoft Graph data out of these other systems that are not there today, and the timeframes for them, and how people will be getting emails from me next week trying to confirm some things, But I mean, it's just been a great opportunity to dig in and get more detail than what is out there publicly. That's one of the benefits of being here at Ignite.
Talking to people, right? Having those more detailed conversations, right?
I think we, as Office service people, because that's what we are, we more often than not look at other technologies. But I think there was a lot of discussions around where Windows is going serverless. Also, a lot of stuff about Azure, Azure Stack now growing. I think taking Azure to business, which has been also a big driver. Magnus and Tom was not here, but I'm sure they've been talking a lot about that. Custom development inside of Azure, using Azure as a hosted provider. It's also come through a lot. I don't think there were anything outside of the SharePoint space around birthdays, outside of OneDrive being 10.
Well, Exchange.
Well,
21, but
it's part of that whole, Exchange 2019, Office 2019, SharePoint.
That whole LinkedIn integration, it doesn't, it's not SharePoint specific, but it's pretty huge. Just Microsoft and LinkedIn really getting together and building it into the LinkedIn product and the Microsoft products.
But are we going to see, so we were talking about this earlier on in the week, so if you resign from one organization, will LinkedIn automatically swap you over? Because it's going to grab, HR is going to say he's left, and you hooked to LinkedIn, and the other company's already enrolled you, so you don't have to change jobs on LinkedIn. LinkedIn will automatically do it for you.
But I think so. But I want the machine learning to be telling us, like, you'd be much better for this other job. More importantly, like, this other job pays a lot better than this job, and makes those suggestions. I think there's a partner opportunity to build that functionality right into the cloud.
It's going to begin with something of a preview, gradual of course, but they have to sort of vet what sort of information can be shared and accessed. It's going to start off with work history. It's going to start off with something, not quite sure what the other thing is, but it would be nice to see some marrying up with skills in terms of what you have off your profile and what could be brought into perhaps the Delve or SharePoint profiles.
Oh, right, because user profiles, it's been kind of painful historically to get the users to actually put their skills in their profiles. So if they've already done it in LinkedIn, so that's great. Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things that we saw, like with the acquisition of LinkedIn, that was, in my mind, that was the first thing I thought about. It's like, wow, we're going to be able to access this through any of the Microsoft ecosystem. Once it's plugged in, the graphs are integrated. But think of that from a Dynamics 365 standpoint of, as a user of some of the business tools back within LinkedIn and the marketing tools there, advertising tools, being able to get access to those data and automating much more of that. Saw how that could be very powerful.
And within search, they did a demo of that. It's pretty amazing.
So the other things that have been discussed quite heavily that we don't necessarily cover is artificial intelligence and quantum computing. We saw that in the keynote.
Got that quantum computer under my seat from the keynote.
Was it under your
quantum
seat?
computer for everyone? No, that was like a tweet that went out. That was a joke. Like, quantum computers for everyone. Look under your seat.
Very Oprah of you.
A lot of people's
very
minds were pretty blown at how extremely technical and that was in the keynote. A lot of math involved.
The Canadian president can explain quantum mechanics to you, so I'm sure.
But it was the vision keynote. It was supposed to talk about that future look. And so people said, like, didn't understand. How does this apply? It's like, no, it's vision keynote of where those things go. So.
But I think that the key point out of that is while people got really geeked out on stage and lost us in terms of the audience, it makes quantum computing available to everyone. So we've found that the pattern is with Azure, it's about democratizing computing. And for us to be able to reach out and grab these thousands or millions of threads of possible computing to get our work done, it's amazing.
Well, think how 2-3 years ago we weren't casually talking about machine learning and understanding of that. So this was something that was very forward-looking that is now, a bigger part of the way that we just talk about collaboration and we talk about, the various integrations in the Microsoft stack.
So I want to ask you, what do you think is going to be the letter before that SKU? Because we have in Azure the G's, the E's, the A's, and they all kind of represent different computing powers. No?
Are you asking me?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Well, no. The A's, the E's, the G's, and the E's, and the K's.
Okay, so quantum, the Q processor?
No, I don't think you're going to get a Q plan. I think the plan's more about capability, whereas I see where you're going with the Azure stuff. But I don't know. I think it's more about Microsoft making technology ubiquitous so that we don't have to think about it. And that's like Amazon does with talking to a little speaker, the size of...
Right. They've done a lot of that specifically with SharePoint, too, because you don't have to necessarily go through all this complicated training now. They've just made it easier for typical end users to just jump in there and start working because you have so many people moving to Office 365, especially small companies, and you just want it to make sense. You don't want people to take one look at it and then go the other way because they don't know how to do anything.
But it's also that they're integrated across those pieces. And so you saw this with Microsoft 365 where it's initially it's like, well, it's a SKU, they're bundling these things together, but no, it's much deeper than that, where it's also now how all the pieces fit together. So I think we're going to see this more and more, and it's largely powered by the graph, that you have these pieces work together and are sharing information, and they're more intelligent and stronger as an overall platform because of that integration, while at the same time it's not a closed ecosystem that you must use all of these pieces, that their Microsoft's story of bringing in these outside components, tapping into these other best-of-breed solutions is also part of that story.
It sounds like, just picking up on that, one of the big advantages of all the changes within search. So rather than us thinking about going somewhere to search, we can search from anywhere and across the stack. And I'm really looking forward to watching Naomi's session and the recording there.
All right.
Is that it? Is that a wrap?
I
That
think
is
so.
already
lost
We
bits
have
to
a
cover?
panel we get to go beyond today, and IT Pro.
Yeah, we got it. Because Christian was late, we have to be late. All right, so that's a wrap.
All right. Thanks. We are wrapping it up, and we appreciate you watching.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Ciao, ciao.